Today, we're going to go from this to this. And in order to do so, we're going to have to drive 190 miles as we encounter some unexpected moments and get to drive on a road we will never forget. Our journey begins in Austria at a luxury campsite next to Innsbruck, where we'll set off towards our first and only charging stop of the day at the Imst Tesla Supercharger. Then it's time to say goodbye to Austria in exchange for Switzerland, where we experience an epic drive down the Maloja Pass, before arriving at arguably the most beautiful of all the Italian lakes. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the journey with us. Today is checkout day, so this is going to be interesting to see how much this is going to cost us. I'm thinking somewhere about, for 2 nights, maybe like 130 at the lowest, so like 65 euros to 75 euros, something like that per night. So it is now 7:25. I came back and Rebecca is like a pro, she doesn't need me anymore. We've got basically everything out of here. It's pretty much empty and all of our stuff's in the boot now. Saying goodbye to the Alps. Our wee campsite is down. Not our tent. Okay, so we have just checked out. I've just paid the bill. Believe it or not, it actually came in lower than expected. 114 euros for the 2 nights, so 57 euros a night. It's like about £50, maybe £45. I don't know what that is in dollars. You could do the conversion, or I'll put the conversion up on the screen. But wow, without a doubt I would come back here. I would have paid more money than they were asking, to be honest with you. We're gonna go to the Billa supermarket that we went to yesterday and just grab some supplies, because we're going to be in Como for 3 nights. That's the plan, at least. So yeah, we're gonna go get some supplies from Billa, get more of those chocolate bonbons, because they were fantastic. Hit the road, get a supercharger, get some breakfast in us, get some chocolate in Rebecca, so we perk our spirits up. She always needs some chocolate in the morning. Yeah, we'll say goodbye to the beautiful Alps. Gonna miss this place. And after getting more than our fair share of road trip snacks, can't get them at home, so it was time to drive towards the only charging stop we'll be making today, as we charge not only our Tesla Model Y, but also ourselves at the Imst Tesla Supercharger. We are at our first supercharger stop en route to Como. We've got a 250 kilowatt charger here, so we're charging pretty quick. Probably going to try and charge as much as we can, because we've not had breakfast. So we're just gonna
be the first to try.
The first, we've got what is it? Cream cheese?
I think it's a cashew cheese.
It's like a cashew cheese with herbs on these little mini bread things. They're quite cute. It's like mini loaves, almost mini slices of bread. This is generally what we've done, is with whichever supercharger is closest to our campsite, we just stop there for the last stop, charge the car up to like 80% if we can even charge it to like 60%, even less, to be honest with you. Now we know how easy it is to drive away and just leave the tent set up. So yeah, it's what a view again, stunning view of the Alps. We're literally right at the base of this, I guess you'd call it a mountain, maybe it's not. In Scotland we would, if it's a hill, or we call it Munros, but they don't call it that here. But certainly the mountains are over there. You can see the Alps over there. But anyway, I'm just gonna get fed another cracker, enjoy our breakfast, and then we'll get back on the road. And now we have a beautiful poke bowl with like a sesame satay dressing, and then I love this seaweed salad, it's so good. And then I think there's a bakery thing here, people where it's really popular, drive-through bakery thing. So we'll go in there, see if we can get like a pretzel, because you would have maybe saw the pretzel that we got from the Spar when we just entered Austria. That pretzel was so good. How's the poke bowl? Good. Lekker?
Lekker.
I like the word lecker. We learned that it's German for delicious. There's all sorts. You've got like Lidl, there's like a sports shop, there's fashion like clothes shop, 4 supercharger stalls here. There's like another 9 or 10 superchargers there. It was one of the questions that I thought people would be thinking when we did this trip, is like, can you do a Euro trip in an EV? To cut a long story short, you can do it. You can do it easily. You can do it even more easily if you do have a Tesla. But as you'll have seen if you've watched some of the previous videos, there's actually a whole bunch of Tesla chargers that you can use if you don't have a Tesla. There's certain supercharger sites, I think it's roughly about half maybe in Europe, but don't quote me on that, but there is a lot of them that you can charge up at. My brother-in-law, he also has a Model Y, a Tesla Model Y, and that's what he asked me. He says, how's the charging been? Have you only used Tesla superchargers? Have you had to use third-party chargers? Have you had to charge at the campsite using the electricity at the campsite? And essentially all we've had to do is what we're doing right now. You take a pit stop when you're on your journey, charge up the car, go to the toilet, get some food, do a bit of shopping if you need to, and by the time you've done all of that, your car is ready to go. You're ready to get back on the road. We're just back. Rebecca's just in the toilet, and Der Backer Roots, I want to say it's called. Basically this, my German is, as you will know, is not great. Rebecca got a nut snail, which is like a snail like shape. It's got like hazelnut sort of filling or something like that inside it. What else did she get? Let's see, let's have a look. She'll probably give me into trouble for opening these. So, and this like cinnamon bun type thing. And then the pièce de résistance. Oh no, sorry. Right, okay, yeah. So this is an apple strudel type thing. And the other one before is the nut snail. 395 kilometers in terms of range onto the car just by being here and charging. We've done pretty much everything that we need to have done. You know, we've ate, we've been to the toilet, 400 kilometers added. So basically, essentially, we could not stop now. It's telling us we can get to, we're looking at a campsite called Camping Darna, which looks out onto Lake Lugano, which is a lake that's shared, I believe, by Italy and Switzerland. So we'll be on the Italian side. So I think we're going to go and check out that campsite first. So it's telling us that if we leave right now, it'll be a 4-hour and 32-minute drive, which, as I was just saying, you don't really want to drive any longer than 4 hours, but we could do it on this occasion. It's 240 kilometers and we'll arrive there with 58% battery, and we currently have 88% battery. So yeah, we'll essentially have about 60% of battery left in the car, which is plenty. If you're using the camp mode setting on the Tesla, the camp mode will essentially keep the car climate control on at your desired temperature, and it will turn off the alarm for the car, which is helpful at night time when you're sleeping inside, because if you didn't have camp mode on and you say like lock the doors and you're sleeping inside and you move about, your car alarm could go off and you're not going to be light at the campsite if that happens at like 5 in the morning. So yeah, if you're using camp mode, at most it's going to use between like 10 to maybe 15% in a 24-hour period, something like that. But that's kind of like worst case scenario. The kind of rule of thumb is like 1 to 2% per hour. So yeah, so Rebecca's just came back. I'm gonna put away this cheese and we'll get back on the road. Little did we know, as we drove through the Austrian countryside towards our second country of the day, this drive along Route 27 would go down as one of the most epic and surreal drives of our European road trip. If you are ever making the journey from Austria to Italy, you need to make sure you take this road. Because not only are you flanked by impressive mountains on both sides, the colour of the water in the lakes is something you need to see. And as we drove through Silvaplana, we witnessed something we've never seen before. We're not sure if this is an everyday occurrence, but we were not expecting to see literally hundreds of people doing all kinds of water sports. Just as we thought it couldn't get any better than this, we were met with the unforgettable Maloja Pass. Even though we were starting to get tired from our journey, this breathtaking mountain pass through the Swiss Alps was worth every second. The twisting turns and scenic views gently winded us down the valley as we waved goodbye to Switzerland and continued south to arrive in our third and final country of the day. We've made it. We're in Italy. This is Lake Lugano. We finally made it. I'll show you. The sun is in my way right now. Try and get in some shade. So this is Camping Dorna, or Camp Dorna, Camping Dorna I think it's called. I'm not gonna lie, I'm absolutely done in. I'm shattered. I don't have much left in me. For two reasons, well, three actually. One, it's been about a 5.5 hour journey. We only stopped once to charge at Imst, driving through Switzerland, through St. Moritz. It was amazing. All the kite surfers, like, it was just blown away. The water, the colour of it, like, just fantastic, totally different kind of like scenery from what we've been seeing. Then we got through Switzerland and we arrived in Italy, and like, what a change. Just like completely different. All of the mountains are just completely covered in trees. So much, like, there was obviously greenery in the Alps, but there was a lot of rock as well. And here, as you can see, there's just like, it's just green, everything's green. Yeah, so it was a long drive. Tired from the drive obviously, and you get to this bit when you're going from like Switzerland down into Italy, and it's just these tight winding roads. It was like unbelievable, and I've seen other people on YouTube driving those roads, and I've always said to myself, wow, how cool would it be to go there, and we've done it, and I'm glad we drove down them rather than drive up them, because I think it was a lot more enjoyable. I even saw some crazy cyclists cycling up it, like, hats off to them. I don't know how they did it, because even just driving in a car for 5 odd hours, we were up at 6 in the morning tearing down camp, absolutely knackered. So the last hour really to get here with all the winding roads, it was just like, just trying to stay awake, getting as much sugar in you as possible, and we finally made it here. But so that's one thing that's buggered me. The second is the heat. We got here and it was like 33 degrees, no wind, and like humid, full baking sunshine. We got here and luckily they had availability. So that's what they said. Literally today is the first day they've got some availability. They've been super busy, super full up until now. So luck has been on our side. They kindly offered us a pitch up over here on this side. So we're up above the lake and a bit away from all of the busy campsites over there. I think further back it's more like permanent residents. So the drive has buggered me, the heat has buggered me. The third thing that's totally taken everything out of me is the rocky ground here. So we've been so lucky that everywhere that we've set up has had like really soft ground, so we have like the stainless steel like pegs, and then just like a rubber mallet, and that's worked great so far up until now. Boy, that was a nightmare. But the problem came when we went to actually anchor everything down, and part of the ground is soft but the other part is like solid rock, or you're like digging out lots of rocks to try and find a soft bit. It was just a nightmare. So using the mallet, it just wasn't working. So what we had to do, I'll show you in a second, is we had to angle the car so that the back of the tent was facing more so towards this way, and then we can still use our side awning to face out this way as well. And it actually does give us a bit more space around about the car and the tent, so it actually has worked out quite well, and it'll be easier for us to drive away from the tent too with it being set up in that location. So the problem then came with the rocky parts when we were trying to tie down that section. Even though we got the tent in a better spot, when we were trying to tap everything down, we managed to get the kind of base of the tent down, but in terms of getting the guy lines down, you obviously want to get them in a certain angle. So some of it went down fine with the mallet, but other parts were just hitting rock, and it was just a nightmare. And I did manage to get it down, but I just wasn't happy with the tent. The tent just didn't, it wasn't like, I couldn't get the guy lines at the right angle. It just wasn't right. And I was getting really frustrated, I'm not gonna lie. You know, I'm tired, hot, sweating, the sweat was dripping off of me. So took a bit of a breather and just sort of reassessed stuff. And as I was doing that, our kind neighbour, again, another hero, I forget his name, I think he's an Italian man, I couldn't quite hear it correctly when he said it, but I'm going to call him Thor. So Thor came with his hammer, his metal hammer, wooden handle and metal hammer, and boy, that thing just like put the pegs in like a breeze. And that is the first thing that I'm buying whenever we can find like a hardware shop, maybe even the shop here at the campsite. So thankfully Thor came and saved the day, and we were able to get everything sorted. I'm happy with everything now. My feet were bogging, my hands were covered in like dirt and sweat, so it was just turning into mud. So I've just been to the showers there, and I've literally I haven't even taken my shirt and shorts off. I just went in, washed my hands, washed my feet. I'm just letting my feet dry right now. I've got a bunch of blisters from today, and yeah, I'm just so glad. I'm in such a better mood now that that's done. It's just the reality of camp life. No, it's not all sunshine and rainbows, you know. Even though right now it's sunshine, there's no rainbows, but there's sunshine, and it's absolutely stunning. Look at this. It's like, I blocked that sun there. It's absolute paradise. Stunning. And the folks here are lovely as well. I'm not gonna lie, I have been telling everybody it's our honeymoon, not because I'm looking for like freebies or anything like that, just because it's the reality of what we're doing, you know. It's we're here on our honeymoon, you know, it's our honeymoon / Euro trip. So it's a nice kind of talking point sometimes for people. It kind of breaks the ice and you get a conversation going. And they were so lovely, so kind. They actually gave us like a wee mini bottle of Prosecco, I think it is, and like a little bag or something like that. I'll show that to you later. But yeah, so lovely. People here are really nice. So yeah, the plan is we're going to be here for 3 nights, and we're just going to chill out, gonna enjoy the place. We'll maybe we will go in the lake, whether we're swimming or we're able to rent a paddle board, or maybe we'll like buy like a float or something like that to go on. Can't really see just now, but earlier it was a lot choppier. There was obviously more wind, so it was a lot choppier earlier. It's quite still now, so I was thinking if we are paddle boarding, it's going to be like difficult to actually like get standing on the paddleboard like we could at Lekbrook am See outside of Fussen, where we did the paddleboarding before. But yeah, you could just pick your time and go when it's calm. But I'm not sure if they do rent them out here, so we'll have a look about and we'll see if they do, and if not, we can get like a float or something like that. But let's just go and I'll show you the view from our setup over here. So This is our spot right in here. Like I said, we've had to go at an angle. Originally we had the car over here and the back of the tent facing there, and you can kind of get why we were doing that, because if you were in your bed in the car, you'd be able to be looking out to this view. But in all honesty, you're not going to spend a lot of time in your bed. Like we've hardly spent any time in our bed. We've spent the bulk of our time outside or like under the awning. So I think it's actually worked out better. So little window here to let the air through. What we've done this time is rather than putting the poles up for the top, we've just basically like anchored it down here, and we've left a gap there. Same for the back of the tent that hooks onto the boot. We've left like a wee gap there so that we can easily just like loosen this and then just take it off, and then we'll be able to drive away. Like we can switch that bit out and we can drive away easily, and then when we come back it's like super easy to put it all back together. So yeah, we've just left it over the top. It's going to provide shade for us as well. Just going to watch these guy lines, I don't trip over them. There's Rebecca chilling. So yeah, this is our setup. So we've managed to get the awning out here, which is perfect. We don't have access to we do have access to the back, but there's like a hedge behind us, so we're not going to use that. We're just going to use this as our main door basically. We've got perfect shade as well from a tree here and a tree there, and then we've got shade from our awning. So I noticed earlier the sun was further up here. So I think the sun is obviously going to come from over at the left here. So come up over here and we're going to have perfect protection here. So we should have a shaded bit. You're in love? Okay, Rebecca's in love. She's happy. And like I said earlier, happy wife, happy life. So we're all good. We're here. But anyway, enough of my rambling. We're in Italy. We're at Lake Lugano. I'm just going to take a seat and show you the view that we have from our seat. This is the view that we have. I mean, does it get any better than this? I don't think it gets any better than this. This is the Prosecco that they kindly gifted us. We're basically eating our way through the fridge right now because we're running out of space, so we're about to munch some kiwis just to get rid of them. So yeah, a small gift to start your holiday in the best possible way on the house from them, a wee mini Italian Prosecco. So we're going to get that chilled in the fridge. And then we also have a little tote bag, Camping Vibes Darna only, Camping Vibes only Darna. Cracking wee green, and hey, it fits the theme, the green theme as well. So lovely, lovely.
I'm happy. I'm really happy.
Yes,
I think
I'm
we
very
were just overwhelmed earlier.
Yeah, you're doing.
We've got nice privacy, even though
Yes.
there's lots of people down there. They aren't
Yes.
looking up here.
No.
We're looking out onto them.
Yes.
They don't have privacy.
No.
We've got the privacy.
And we're actually going to get the view that
Yeah.
we wanted from our bedroom from our side window.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll just hop in to the bed. We've not got a sheet on yet, but we will wake up, or at least I'll wake up on this side and look at that view from your bedroom. So if this place is anything like Natter Sea, which was what, 57 euros a night, if it's anywhere in that region, even though the facilities don't seem like as good in terms of the showers and stuff,
Yeah,
but
they still look good. They still still look.
they're decent.
good.
Yeah, they're pretty good. I think it's just compared to Nattersea, it was like super posh, but it's still really good here. But if it's anywhere in that ballpark, it's a bargain, because if you were to stay in an Airbnb or a hotel anywhere in Italy, getting this view from your bedroom, you would pay an absolute fortune. So we have a bottle of red, and this is not for us. Rebecca wishes it was. Rebecca had a nice idea. There's a little gift just to say thank you to Thor and his wife. I don't know what Thor's wife's name is. I know his name, yeah, but his name is Thor, the Hammerman, Hammer Time. So yeah, we have a little gift for them. We're just going to present them with it, and we've just been into the shop to see what they do. They do sell floats, they're quite expensive, so we don't really need a float in all honesty, so we'll see how we get on without them. So yeah, we're just going to present it to them just now, and we're basically done for tonight. I think we're going to do a chill out day tomorrow and just relax and enjoy everything. We'll maybe walk about the area and see what's what. Maybe we'll go a drive to the closest like little town here rather than going anywhere far. And then on Monday I think we will drive to Como, and we'll probably get a charge in the car down there as well, because we're about half an hour away from the closest superchargers, which isn't too far, but we've got plenty of battery anyway to do us until then. So yeah, we're just going to go present the gift just now. Voila. So just a little update, we actually changed our, well, we've always changing our setup I guess, but instead of having our fridge hit one of the sides that the table's on, to actually put it at the back, because it helps because you can actually stand on it to help you get in and out of the boot. But also what we keep doing, what you do want to avoid, is this guy right here, because you can't raise, because of the way the tent is, you can't raise the boot fully. So this is like lower than head level, and it's super easy when you're getting in and out of the back of the car to actually whack your head off that. So
even me, who's like really small,
yes.
I have my head off that all the time.
Yes, so even if you're small, it will happen. So definitely this helps, because it just means that we're aware of something in this space and we're less likely to actually walk forward and hit our head. Anyway, that's just a side note. The real thing I wanted to show you was our little setup here. We're just making dinner. So we've got the table set up. We're very lucky to be right next to power. So power's right there. We are just running our socket extension thing straight through the tent to the power. We've got our little induction stove hooked up. In all honesty, if you're not bothered about having gas with you, I probably recommend just getting a gas burner, because it's so much easier than needing electricity. If we didn't have electricity, yeah, like some people like me, like I'm a bit like gas is like super, like it can be really flammable.
Yeah, but
Like it's unlikely that something is gonna happen, but
gas, you have to cook outside.
yes, that's true. That's true. So with this, we can cook inside. So yeah, we've got our induction stove set up. We don't need to worry about like drawing too much power. We're not taking the mickey with it anyway. We've still got it set to level 2, which is what we did with the Jackery. And yeah, we're cooking some vegan like chicken nuggets. It's basically just like fake chicken or like whatever it is, some sort of protein thing. We're gonna do wraps. So we've got wraps with hummus, lettuce. We're going to do the little chicken pieces, we're going to break them up. Then we're going to put this aioli dressing that we got as well inside of it. And then we're also going to put this sweet chilli sauce, which we got in the Netherlands, I think. I think it was in Albert Heijn in the Netherlands. So yeah, representing the Netherlands tonight. And yeah, we'll just wrap it up, and that will be our dinner with a view. And after making our wraps, bellissimo, it was time to light some candles and relax as we soaked in the nighttime views across the lake. On the next episode, we wake up at 2 AM to an all too familiar sound that's followed us since we first set foot in the Alps. Violent thunderstorm rolling over us. Before setting off to explore the local area in search of my very own Thor's hammer, and finally we seized the moment to have our first dip in an Italian lake. That was awesome. As always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.